Maybe if I put this over here. I hit the little go live thing. We should be live now. About to get the notification, which I did. Excellent. 3 email. Time to check some audio. That's really loud. Alright, that sounds alright. Cool. We get a little buzz on the live feed, but not. Yes. Oh, you know what? I know why. Give me one second. There it is. That's probably a little bit better. Yep. That's probably a lot better. Yeah. So I know last time we had the audio going through the camera. This time we have it going through my lovely Blue Yeti red mic. So that's probably what it was. Bingo. Probably. Oh my God. Like all the weird windy noise is gone too. I love it. I have all the filters on this mic, not on the mic on the camera. So that'd be why. Welcome. So obviously our semi kind of sort of weekly vlog here. We're going to jump right into the Great Alaskan LAN Party because I know a lot of people, that's our next thing coming up. It's coming up quick, so we want to talk about it. And so November 9th through 10th, make sure I got that date right for you guys. 9th through 10th. Yep, 9th through 10th, 24 hours. We're doing our Great Alaskan LAN Party supporting Extra Live. So for right now, we have it for if you fundraise and raise $50, you can reserve a seat. And you can look us up on Facebook if you want those links, and I might put them down below afterwards. I'll probably forget. That's sad fact. But if you go to our Facebook, go to the events, go to Great Alaskan LAN Party, all the links are below. And we have quite a few people who've already registered. I would say, I don't want to say a quarter, maybe a little bit more than like 33%. I can check that. I have that ability. Or Great Alaska, sign in, remember, yes, go. I like RanReg, but it's definitely needs work. Let's see. We have 16 seats available of a total of 35. So we are easily about halfway there. So there's only about a half. So there's not a crazy amount. So if it's something that you do want to go to, make sure you register. Make sure you send me your link to your fundraising page so I can make sure that you have those $50. Pretty easy stuff. The tabletop rooms are already spoken for. I have to actually close those seats because both parties have, I think, raised more than enough to rent out the whole tabletop space. But we have plenty of BYOPC, which is not just PC. You can bring your own console. It's whatever you bring to game. That's what those seats are for. We're going to provide you an Ethernet cable, and that's it. And then it's up to you to provide the rest. We'll have power. We'll give you power too. So if that's what you're looking for, get it. And then we have the warehouse PCs that you can rent out. Streaming is going to be a little weird on those, so it's more for the people who just want to raise their $50 and just want to play video games. That's what those seats are for. And then we're leaving this area as a little social area, so you can take a break from gaming if you need it, and socialize, someplace to eat, someplace to gather, and that type of thing. Other than that, if we get super full, like if we just fill out tomorrow, I'll go ahead and try to get a new space, a bigger space, and kind of grow it up from there. I don't think we're gonna get too many. I don't think we're gonna fill this entire space. It'd be cool if we did. I would love it. And because that just shows how many people are willing to get involved and be that social about it. I know fundraising this year has been a little challenging even for me, although I find every year I do this, I find it a little bit harder for me to do because I'm so involved in so many other things like the MTA, the Unlimited, usually SensiCon, Arctic Comic Con. Next year is going to be Dungeon Con. All these other things where it's really hard for me to actually sit down, stream, and get those donations. But makes me feel better is I like to enable you guys to get just that many more donations. So I try to be that person who you can talk to, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. What do you think? And enable you to get the donations that you need to get to your fundraising goal. And with that, I mean, I have seen more of our teammates raise more than the $50 that they would normally raise. I mean, anywhere between 200, I think, is the average, but even more than that. And it's great. It's great to see. It's great to be part of it. And I love the fact that we can run this team, and I'm excited for what's going to happen next. I have a few changes I want to make to our teams next year. That's going to be pretty exciting to talk about. I'm not going to talk about it until probably one of the first few vlogs in January. Every year I sign right back up January-ish to make sure that I don't forget and that I create the team. This way, sometimes when people look for, they're like, hey, I'm going to join really early. I'm going to get on a team and I'm going to do my thing. And they don't see their team. Sometimes they're like, all right, I'm going to hold off and wait till the team gets created. And then it never does. And then they forget or whatever have you. And the ball gets dropped. I haven't done that ever for creating a team and getting on Extra Life in the January timeframe. The guild leader, Elijah, he actually counts it down like to the second. So it's like, 1201 January 1st, he's already signed up, which is super crazy awesome. I did it 1 year just because I was up. I was like, oh yeah, it's the first. Boom. Let me just do that. What was I doing at home alone on a New Year's Eve? I don't want to talk about it. That's my thing. That happens. Getting older. Sometimes those New Year's Eve things just don't appeal to me. So yeah, great Alaskan LAN Party. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a great time to socialize. So if you haven't already, make sure you sign up. Sign up early. Don't wait till the last minute. Make sure you get the sign up link to the LAN Reg. Yes, you have to make a LAN Reg account, but to a lot of these seating ones that require seating, and we want to use LAN Reg. This way you have your seat, you know where you're going to be at, things like that. And then in the future, we'll use them for like team signups where you can, select a whole row of chairs for your teams. And this way, when you get there, it's not like, oh, where does Overwatch go? It's like right here. You already know, and we'll have some cool little signs to let you know, hey, we're here. So that's all I have for about the Great Alaskan LAN Party. If you have any questions, shoot them down below, and I'll make sure I get them answered for you. Quick, I know it's already gonna come up. Yes, you can stream if you want to. We're gonna have pretty good internet. If we fill out, I'm gonna get an extra modem or two. If we don't, we should have plenty of, depending on how many people are streaming, we should have plenty of bandwidth for streaming. So that's not a big issue there. So we're gonna talk about the GALP Dungeon Con. All right, I just want Dungeon Con. It just sounds like you want to yell it. So we were asked to help out with Dungeon Con, so that's pretty exciting. They had, for their dungeon stuff, had a lot of success last year, and they realized that their gaming, their PC stuff, their console went pretty well. Maybe their PC stuff, networking was a little lacking, and so they admit it. And I thought that was really humble. That was the first thing I brought up when they approached us. I was like, hey, what happened last year? And they're like, yeah. So they asked us to help out. We're going to be there. We're getting AKG to be there. We're going to run some awesome events. There's going to be a cool prize pool, depending on how many entrants for each event. So be on the lookout for that. I think we're going to be making some event posts here shortly. Within the next week or two, we're going to have easily a list of a lot of the tournaments that we're doing. A few, probably a month after, or a few weeks after, we're going to have the prizes available. We're going to have a seating chart, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be a normal, awesome warehouse style LAN event. And what I'm super excited about is that they have a tavern right in the middle of their dungeon. They have a tavern. Who would have known? And they're going to have, for over 21, they're going to have some alcoholic drinks, but they're also going to have, a dry side for under 21. They're going to have burgers. They're going to have, all I heard was burgers. That's the only thing I heard of. But I'm sure there's going to be more stuff than just burgers. But hopefully some gluten-free options. That'd be cool, because I'm gluten insensitive. I'm probably going to bring my own food if I'm allowed, because I need that. It's no bueno when I eat gluten. It's not a whole lot of fun. And if you can make it, definitely make it. Definitely go out there. The prices, it is a little steep for prices, $50, but that gets you the whole Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Three days of gaming get you to all three of those. Plus, it's going to be should be free entry to tournaments, and we're gonna have all our PCs out there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm mostly excited about the fact that I'm gonna be able to play video games. I'm not gonna be playing video games, but I'm gonna be excited the fact that you can play video games and you can eat food, and I don't think you won't have alcoholic beverages outside the tavern, but you can take a break in between, and you can do that. You can get some partake in beverages. And if LARPing is your thing, they're gonna have a really cool big dungeon. And if D&D is your thing, you're gonna have plenty of D&D. They're actually gonna have like a big, I can't even see how big, just a dungeon crawl, but for your D&D characters. And so you go through this dungeon and you can fight other playable characters. So, and basically you're trying to get to the finish, to the end line. If your character dies, you just start at the beginning. And as you're making your way through, if you need to, you can fight other players to make sure that they don't get to the end of the dungeon, which I think is pretty cool. I can't wait to see how that ravels out. I'm sure there's gonna be mayhem, chaos, some swear words, maybe a little laughter, a little banter, maybe some new friendships that come along with that. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Speaking of over 21, this is super cool. There's also going to be an over 21 D&D tables where you can also partake in beverages. And oh my goodness, I'm super excited about that. That should be super, you should look forward to it. It's going to be cool. It's going to be great. So if you can take the time off and do it, they have their website up. They have their Facebook page, I think, up. I know they have a Facebook page, which you should like. But I don't know if their event is up quite yet. If not, it will be really soon. Actually, I think I saw it. I can look it up real quick, because I have the internet. You can see me because of the internet. Facebook Dungeon's one of those words that I just cannot spell sometimes. DungeonCon, of course, all my bandwidth is being used up for streaming. DungeonCon 2020 event. Yep, January 31st. So the end of January 31st to February 2nd. Yeah, there's already 27 people going, 44 people interested. They have their event page. They still have to add us as a contributor. As soon as that happens, we'll add some gaming related information there and get it out to you guys. So I'm super stoked. I hope you are. And it's going to be bigger this year, and it's going to be at the state fairgrounds, so it's going to be a little bit of a drive. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be super cool. I think that's what Alaska needs is something different, something that we haven't seen before. Like, right, basically, how I feel is like you have the Saturday Sunday market, the farmers market, you have the state fair, you have the Renaissance fair. But a lot of these events are kind of the same thing. Even if you will, look at Arctic Comic Con and SensiCon, whereas one's more pop culture, one's more anime, but the vendors and the things to do mostly are the same. I hate to say it, it is. But I feel like DungeonCon incorporates like LARPing and a bigger D&D presence, which I think is something that we need more of. And when I was going with the state fairs, like the vendors are mostly just the same. They just, go from one event to the other. That's fair. But this is more on the vendors. A lot of times I don't see anything different. There's nothing that goes, oh, I can't wait to see what this vendor has. I've been to like 4, 5, 6 state fairs, and like I've been to this one paint shop and they have the same painting every time in the same space every time. I'm like, do something different. I want to, like, when I go to these events, I want to see something different. Yeah, I understand for some of the hot tub stuff, like it's hard to, like, how do you spice up a hot tub? Either put some women in it, put some dudes in it. Now, I think this year the hot tubs had a cool where we had people swimming, and I was like, that's something that I wish they had all the time. I mean, I feel jealous for the person they got to pick to do that. Sauna people, if you're looking, I'm the guy. I would love to stay in your hot tub all day long for free just to hang out. That'd be cool. Make it happen. Just kidding. We could play some video games. There we go. Set up a TV. Smash Brothers, anyone? I think so. I digress. That's going off. Dungeon Con. It's going to be awesome. Be there. Don't be square. It's going to be a lot. Actually, there are some of you who won't be able to attend the computer stuff and maybe even the console stuff because it's big. It's huge, but it's not SenchiCon and not Articon big where we have like just gigantic space. So I think we're going to have something like 70 to 80 PC space and about the same for console. So if you're going to want to be in there, make sure you sign up early. Make sure you get there because it's going to be, it's going to be big. It's going to be huge, especially if you want like Fortnite, Overwatch, League of Legends, that type of thing. We're going to have plenty of space for that. So be there. Moving on. If no one, all right. Yeah. Cold weather. Oh my God. It's getting cold. And the reason why I included this with the vlog, because like wires, they hate cold stuff. I was moving around some stuff, some camera equipment, and just like I have a lot of power cables and stuff like that. Just bending it, it's just like, oh my goodness. It's starting to get really cold out. So if you do, for some reason, like you have cables outside, maybe you have to run an Ethernet cable from your modem from one room to the other, and you hop outside. Just make sure that you tack those down. You make sure that they're not being moved in the wind or there's not snow falling on it, because it will crack it and you'll lose your internet. That no one wants that. So yeah, it's getting cold. If you have a laptop and you're bringing it to events or even your monitor, don't leave it in your car. That's a bad no-no. What's that noise? I think it's the fridge. Not only will your LCDs freeze and they'll just become unresponsive a little bit until they warm up, you also risk the thermal shock to the LCD screen itself, where you can actually get a crack into your LCD screen because of the change in temperature. Rapid change in temperature will do that. It's not good for it. Don't do it. When you do have to transport, I would preheat your car. Maybe not put it in, if you can help it, not put it in the trunk of your car, because that's usually not heated. If you have to, that distance, not too bad. Just be careful with it. And I'll give you tips for how to be careful. Preheat your car. Don't leave your monitor out in the snow, obviously. And if you bring it in, make sure you let it warm up naturally a little bit. Don't be like, bring it inside, plug it in, and let it go. If it's cold to the touch, let it warm up a little bit. Also, if you happen to leave it outside, or leave it in your car overnight or something like that, or it just happens to get cold, you definitely don't want to turn it on right away. But you also want to make sure that you're looking out for condensation, because that will build up. When you have a cold object that is colder than ambient temperature, it wants to collect dew, moisture from the air, and you want to make sure that it naturally is able to dry itself before you turn it on. Moisture and dew conducts electricity. It's not going to be fun for anybody. So let it warm naturally. Don't plug it in right away. If you notice condensation, don't plug it in. Don't turn it on. Give it more time. is what it is. The colder something is, the more time you have to give it to let it settle, let it let it warm up, and you shouldn't have any issues. I have not personally seen an LCD crack because it's cold. I have heard of it. I've heard people tell stories about it, but I've never actually seen it myself. But me myself, I've only turned on a laptop a handful of times when it was in cold. I've never left it out overnight and then just flipped it on, turn it on. It'd be a cool experiment, especially up here in Alaska. I have noticed condensation. That was a little nerve-wracking once, and so you just have to manage it well. So that's just some quick tips. It also applies to your computer almost as much. Your LCD is a lot more important. Especially if you're water cooling your computer, do not leave it outside. That water will freeze if you don't have the right additives. And nothing's worse than having a bunch of water coolant all over your PC, cold, frozen. Yeah, it's not good. It corrodes. No, you're not gonna have a good time. So mice. Sometimes you have to worry about the batteries freezing, and the batteries sometimes will. I haven't seen them explode, but they'll swell up a little bit. Condensation's always a worry. I'm trying to think about what other peripherals. I mean, cables. I just said it. If you have something outside, they become brittle. Same thing if you leave in your car. And then like your power cable, you try to oh man, if it's cheap plastic, and you're like, oh, let me just run this power cable, you'll crack it in half, and that's no go. If I see that, I'll be like, no, that's a shock and fire hazard, no go. So be on the lookout for those things, and more. So we just started our pre-order for some of our WH49 Swag. We finally got some new stuff. Super excited about that. So if you want to pre-order it, I'll put that link below. We have a little pre-order form. If you pre-order, you get to customize the sleeves on some of the stuff, like the hoodies and the zip-up jackets. We should be getting mice and mouse pads. Not mice, just the mouse pads. We'll be getting probably not the extra big ones. We'll probably stick with the desk pads and the smaller game pads. That should be, I'm thinking December, probably December sometime, kind of after we get our swag in, our hoodies and stuff. We're all getting water bottles. They're gonna be super cool. So if you wanna get it, you wanna pre-order it, make sure you put your information in the pre-order form, and we will get that stuff to you. You'll get it first. Whenever we get the shipment in, we'll get those in first, and we'll call you in and go grab it. We'll get payment somehow, and we'll work with that. If anyone has any questions, feel free to shout them out. Feel free to put them below, and I'll answer them either now or a little bit later, depending on when you get to. My ring doorbell is going off like crazy. Hopefully, there's no one outside. And we'll answer those questions. And I do have more videos, YouTube videos, like some of the more in-depth ones coming. So be on the lookout for those. Should be dropping next week, hopefully sometime. Just I had to reshoot some things, which is real pain in the butt. So other than that, I know today will probably be open till around 10 p.m. just because I have drill tomorrow. So we will be closed tomorrow. Hopefully get to the end of the video so you can hear that. I'll be posting on Facebook. So, and if you want to see more events, let me know. We do have a Fortnite tournament coming up on the 26th. We have the Pokemon crew coming in on the 26th. On the 25th, we have the League of Legends social, the ARM social. Which you do have to pre-register for that one, so make sure you do it. It's like $5 or $10. You get pizza, so totally worth it. Other than that, I got nothing so far. We'll be hosting some more events next month. With that, I think we'll end it there, and I'll see you later. You guys have a great weekend. Hopefully, I'll see you here tonight. All right, guys, see you later.